Okay, alright, what's up, everybody? Christopher Leon Johnson here. So, I'm on a Samsung phone right now, Samsung 22. I like Android. I mean, the problem with iPhones is that unless you get the new iPhone and the stuff that I do, my media stuff, if you're a person that do long videos and stuff like that, and long time videos and shit, like some language at church. And I think that Samsung, I think Android is the best route to go. It's kind of a way best route to go. Things have a reason to where you gotta make the moves, but sometimes, like I said, I think Android is way better when it comes to like longevity with the battery. Other than that, I think Apple has to work on the battery aspect for people that want to buy their products. But I think that if Steve Jobs was to be alive, I think that would be the case. But I think that since he's passed away since 2011, people that I believe that should never be in positions of power or influence shouldn't be operating a company like Apple. But that's my opinion. But I want to make a quick video if I get on this train, how to go downtown and get new service on my phone. Is about Eric Adams. Okay, Eric Adams, right? Now, yesterday there was a video that was posted on his campaign X account when it comes to New York City if Zoran was to be mayor, and it was basically artificial intelligence. He deleted it the first time because everybody called him out when it came to the first post that he didn't disclose that it was artificial intelligence. There's a law in the city of New York where if you do anything with AI, I think that was done by Julie Menon. If you do anything with artificial intelligence for a campaign, you have to disclose to the public that the content was AI, or any piece of the video, if it's artificial intelligence, you have to disclose it. And Eric refused to do it, so everybody called his ass out, say, "Oh, this is AI, 100% AI. You didn't disclose it." So he deleted it. His people deleted it and re-uploaded the video and put the disclaimer there, "This is artificial intelligence." Now, I saw the video. I'm not a big fan of artificial intelligence. I'm not a big fan of Chat GPT and all that stuff. I'm not a big fan of it. And I like to make this clear that I'm the type of person that I'd rather pay someone to do the work themselves. Like if I'm going to try to do art, I'll pay someone to do the art. But I'm not a big fan of like just doing AI and giving disrespect to the people that really does art. Or I'll pay someone to do the speech writing instead of relying on Chat GPT and artificial intelligence and open AI to do everything. Because people are going to catch you and that, you're fucked. But I want to make this clear about Eric Adams that, people like him and his people want to call out Madani for so-called bringing in communism and socialism to the city in New York, where Eric Adams, and I've been following this guy since 2021, especially after he rose his damn hand for mayor every day. That's why a lot of people hate me, because I know what the fuck he's doing and his people are doing. That Eric Adams is the same mayor, but before the indictment, and you understand, this is way before the indictment, and even during the indictment, but mainly before the indictment, Eric was the same mayor that stood and approved the funding of many organizations that if Madani was the mayor of the city of New York, they benefited from his tenure from the past, let's say 2022, 2023, 2024, let's say 3 years. 3 years now. 3 years. 3 years that Eric has been mayor. Those same nonprofits that are now back in Madani benefited from his administration. Let's not get started with the whole streets redesign initiative that Eric has championed and implemented under the orders of transportation alternatives and open plans. And once he found out that they not fucking him for general election, he completely gave them the finger and took all that shit away, like the Bedford Avenue bike lane. And let's not get started where he stood with the Worker Justice Project, Los Eastos, and gave them the minimum wage, and now he's pushing, really trying to appease Chuck Schumer, and push now that Deliverista hub that not one community board is down with, even the one that the Yimbys own, Manhattan Community Board 1 is against it, and he's pushing it in. But once he found out that them, like Ligia Galapa and Gustavo and Alejandro and William and all those people turned on him because of Transo and Streets Pack. And I'll talk about Street Pack right now. Street Pack is a nonprofit, 501c4 nonprofit that does the work it's the political arm of Riders Alliance, Transo, Open Plans, and Worker Justice Project for LDU, the Deliveristas. They turned on him, they abandoned him, so now he gave them the finger. And when this same mayor that approved the minimum wage for Deliveristas for Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber and Relay, which I've been saying this is going to open a can of worms that cannot be put back in. And look what happened when it came to the Deliverista hub, when it came to the minimum wage situation, the minimum wage and the minimum wage and all these other situations, and the minimum wage, the e-bike crisis, the 15 mile per hour limit for e-bikes, Class C summonses when you blow a red light on a bike, Class C summons when you go 1 mile with 15 mile per hour on an e-bike. This is what happened. This is the same guy that championed this crap, I'm totally against him. Remember, like I said, the rollout was wrong, and you let the one nonprofit speak on behalf of minimum wage. Now, this is the same guy because he found out that Lydia and all the people that he gave $1 million to in government funding are not back for re-election. He vetoed Intro 1135, which will make Instacart pay minimum wage to deliveristas. So when it comes to a lot of things like Eric allowed this crap to happen in the city. This city was been under socialism, way under socialism, way before Madani decided to run for mayor. What's going on right now is that it's already socialism, where they criminalize a lot of things in the city, where you have bail reform in the city. The mayor refuses to really say repeal bail reform, and he only want to tweak it. Where this mayor is the main guy that said, and he let it go through, where Intro, which is now Local Law 17, but in 2022 they called a bill in the city council, Intro 432, where landlords are not allowed to vet anybody who has a criminal record, including people that have been convicted of a sex offense, like rape, like pedophilia, like exploitation of a child, forcible touching, and in those offenses. This is the same mayor that allowed Eric Adams, that allowed this bill to go through, and he said nothing when Douglas Powell who was on camera at a city council hearing, which is public record, during the public testimony, disparaged Asian people and called them racist, and then say that people like him are the real New York. And when I heard that, and I was like, okay, I know when you say that the nonprofits are really New York, and Eric said not one word about it. There's a lot of things that Eric, as the mayor, before the indictment, allowed to happen under his tenure, to where that all Madani's going to do when he becomes a mayor is prolong what Eric had did before the indictment. And the funny thing about it was that his main supporter, Ingrid Lewis Martin, who has now in the second indictment for McGinnis Boulevard, says that she hates progressives. But she was a senior advisor, the main number 2 to Eric Adams, helped allow the Working Families Party and the New York State Democratic Socialist America implement the things that they did, and she didn't give a rat's ass about it. Because all she cared about was doing her own thing and making sure her pockets are lined up and Eric's pockets were lined up, and her minions in the administration. Now I can get that another video that about my little sneak peek that a lot of the people in the administration right now are some of the biggest scumbags in New York City politics, and the reason they're mad at a lot of people like me because they know that they treated people like me like garbage, and they did this on purposely to treat me like garbage. I know who they are, and they know, and they thought that, well, we could treat Chris like trash and many other people like trash, but at the end of the day, they're gonna come crawl back to us like Stockholm syndrome. And the reason they're mad because they thought that I was gonna be the product of a Stockholm syndrome to the Adams administration, because there's a lot of people in Madani that hates my guts, and Cuomo is kind of different. But I heard this like a week ago that people in Madani have it out for me, and I know why, because I shit with TA, and they ain't like that because I fucked up their whole thing. So now I'm on their shit list. But they thought that, well, Chris will do the Stockholm syndrome stuff and come back to us, and it's not working. But a lot of those people, they know that once Madani is in, they're out. Eric is the only reason they're in. And it's something where that I'm not surprised. I'm not really surprised. And it's just what it is. So like I said, it's just a lot of things that Eric allowed happen in this city, which is really the products and the forms of socialism and communism. But he can get mad they can get mad all they want, but they're the ones that help usher this bullshit in. They help usher it in. So, you know what I mean? It's just what it is in 2025. I gotta get on a train and I'm gonna log off and take care. Happy Saturday. Happy Wednesday. Later.